Hey, you're listening to Cracking the Code, the podcast for leaders building and growing service-based businesses. If you are in legal or medical or financial services, if you have letters behind your name that qualify you to do what you do for a living, you are in the right place. I am your host, Rob Riggs, here to bring you intel and access that are designed to decode how technology can be and should be impacting your growth. All right, let's get into it. Hey, welcome back to Cracking the Code, our Code Conspirators podcast, where we talk to people building and scaling professional service businesses using smarter systems, better tech, and a whole lot of practical wisdom. So today's guest is Charles Craggett, founder of Become the Authority. He's a marketing automation agency based in Cleveland. And Charles, thanks so much for jumping on the show today.
Hey, I appreciate you having me on, Rob.
For sure. Why don't you take a minute and kind of fill us in on you, your agency, and why you do what you do?
So I got started, I've been in the digital marketing and automation space for probably about 8 years at this point.
Nice.
Um,
Okay.
I got started originally as an insurance agent. I used to own my own insurance agency, and I
Okay.
had a team of about 10 agents at the time. And that's when I decided that I wanted to start building out systems to attract leads, close more sales, etc. Right. Um, so when COVID happened, that was the ultimate jumping point for me to really
Mm.
start building out some really robust systems. And even during a global pandemic, just setting up a good lead generation system, good automated follow up, and things of that nature allowed us to still have record breaking months, even in the middle of a pandemic.
Nice.
And a friend of mine came to me, he owned a window treatment business, and he said, "Hey, your system looks really cool. I have no idea how any of this tech stuff works. Can you build something like this for me?" And I said, "Sure, why not?" And at the time, I grossly undercharged him. Shout out to him. He got probably one of
Sure.
the best setups I've ever done for like $200.
Yeah.
But
Totally
that
get that.
was that was the start of this, and I said to myself, you know what? I enjoy doing this more than insurance. I know that I could help a lot of business owners building out these systems, and as a result, Become the Authority was born. Now we're a full stack digital marketing agency, but we focus on systems first. So we
Yeah.
want to build out really robust systems for follow up, for lead capture, and things like that. And then, of course, get leads in using a variety of different digital marketing strategies, paid ads, social media, SEO, AEO, etc.
Very cool. What does that tech stack look like for you? Are you using like Go High Level or something for that foundation?
Yeah, so most of my clients, when they get signed up with us, we build them a customized Go high level software.
Okay.
And for the most part, we are working with local trades businesses. So
Yeah.
think plumbers, electricians, roofers, people like that, right? So we
Hmm.
use a trades centric CRM as well, called
Nice.
Jobber. So what
Okay.
we
Right.
do is we'll use Jobber to manage all of the operations, and they can handle that on their side. And then we have all of the automated marketing, text follow up, lead intake, etc., handled via Go High Level. And then we just connect them using the APIs and build a super CRM, so to speak.
Nice. Beautiful. Love that. And is your ideal client, the local service, the residential services, and that sort of thing, is that based on kind of who you had coming to you in the beginning? Or like, yeah.
Yeah, just about. At the time, I think where I saw a gap was these blue collar guys, they they can stumble into $1 million business just because of how expensive it is to do some of these projects and everything like that. But the more I talk to these service business owners, the more I'm like, okay, your back end is absolutely disorganized. You have no system for invoicing, you have no system for follow-up, nothing for lead intake. Everything is just all over the place. And on top of that, you have no digital presence. You're not advertising yourself or anything like that. So we just saw a gap that needed to be filled inside of the trades with people like myself, where I have enough of an understanding of the trades to be able to market them efficiently, but
Sure.
also the tech knowledge to be able to set them up with the tools and management that they need to stay organized, stay efficient, and close more deals.
Awesome. The yeah, the do you primarily look for people in your geography, in and around Cleveland? Is that where you have your strongest rapport, or do you branch out from the great state of Ohio?
So we're nationwide with the bulk of our services.
Okay.
Uh, we do have a partnership with a local media production company to handle things like social media marketing. So that's our only local only service. But for the
Okay.
most part, we do have clients in Nevada, California, South Florida, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So we're nationwide, but we do have some local specific services that we like to offer as well.
Okay, yeah, interesting. You've also got a background in MMA, which
Yeah.
is just pretty cool. Is there are there some lessons that you've learned that are common to kind of running business that you picked up from MMA, discipline or practice routine, those sorts of things?
I was going to say you're 100% on the right track. Number one is the
Mhm.
discipline. You know, if you don't have discipline in business, you're going to get smacked in the mouth. The same way, if you don't have discipline in training, someone's going to punch you in the face.
Yeah.
Um, and then the other side is when you have someone that's 200 plus pounds and trying to take your head off and everything like that, suddenly
Yeah.
the problems in your business don't seem so scary,
Sure.
you know, but you
Yeah.
also learn to roll with the punches, so to speak, recognize that sometimes things won't always go according to plan when you're in
Mhm.
business, but it's up to you as the entrepreneur or as the fighter to adapt to this situation and figure out a way to overcome it.
Right.
You know,
That's yeah, so true. I think that marketing in today's world is just like that. We're going to get punched in the mouth, and we have to figure out how to pivot to adjust to
because it's moving
keep
so
going back.
fast. It's moving
Right.
so
Yeah.
fast. There's always something new coming out, new softwares, new strategies, new tools. AI is
Hmm.
blowing up. There's so many
Yeah.
different bits and pieces that are out there, and so many different things that could potentially take you off what you're doing or could add a lot of value. It's just about discernment, bringing things in, rolling with the punches, and just kind of finding the most valuable things you can do for your clients. That's how you survive.
Yeah. 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 For sure. So you've kind of it seemed to have branded like a service around like the job flow system. Can
Yes.
you talk us through kind of the core components that make that different than like generic CRM implementations?
So the job flow system is what we call our overall approach to marketing.
Okay.
And so what we do is first we of course build that CRM because we notice that so many business owners they are running ads or they are doing things on social media or they're investing money into SEO and they're like, "Well, I'm not getting anything." But then you go look at their website, it's like, "Oh, you don't have a good lead capture form. You don't
Right.
have consistent follow up. If someone fills out this form, it still takes a couple hours for them to hear from you, you know.
Hmm.
So so our thought process is let's automate as much of this stuff as possible so that you have, whether you want it or not, a standard operating procedure inside of your business on how leads are handled and what that process is like for them to go from cold lead to customer to Google review to repeat customer to referral partner, etc. Everybody
Right.
walks through the same system. So yeah, the job flow system is just based around us building a strong back end system that brings leads in and handles them and manages them on autopilot, and then creating max visibility through utilizing a variety of different digital marketing strategies to ensure that you're able to be seen no matter what platform a consumer is on.
Right. Yeah. We call that speed to lead.
Yes,
And oftentimes the first person to respond is the person that gets the
that gets
business.
the job. Exactly.
So yeah, you like nobody like calls a plumber and says like I'm thinking about like fixing my plumbing problem in September, right?
Yeah,
6 months from now. It's like I need this fixed now. And so the
exactly.
first person to respond is going to win that business, even if they're a little higher priced.
And
But
it's
it's
funny that you
interesting.
bring up plumbers. I recently had an audit. That's what we do with our clients is we do a marketing and systems audit. So
Sure.
not only do we look at what marketing they might be doing or not doing, but we're going to randomly try to contact their business on all the channels that they have set up and show
Nice.
them exactly what a consumer goes through when they're trying to reach them. And sure enough, I had a plumber who signed up for that audit, and I tried to
Yeah.
reach out to him, and his team didn't contact me until about 3 or 4 hours later. And I told him,
Right.
I was like, dude, if my toilet's overflowing and it's all over the place and everything like that, I can't wait 4 hours for you. I'm going to go to the next guy. And
Yeah.
that's where the people are dropping off for you. You know?
Yeah. That's incredible, and that's has become kind of what people expect now. They're
Yes.
expecting the Amazon response. I expect a response in 10 minutes, or I'm going elsewhere. I'm expecting five-star service, or I'm going to leave a negative review. All of the things that it takes to do business these days to win business, and then perform in a way that's going to get referrals and testimonials. Um, so, what can you talk through your philosophy on like the website foundation versus automation tools? Like, where do you start if you're starting kind of with the points of conversion? Like, where do you start first, and how do you proceed from there?
So we actually, more often than not, Um, a lot of these websites are decent. Okay. We usually run
Okay.
across some pretty decent websites. The issue, though, is that they're maybe built on WordPress or something like that, and it comes with the generic contact form and stuff like that, right? And it doesn't really
Hmm.
hook into anything. What we try to focus on is number one, making it easier for a person to give you their data. So we want to either embed that form somewhere that's immediate, like right when they get to the website. Here's
Right.
some reason to give us your info, whether it's a discount, a lead magnet, something of that nature. It's right there. Give us your info. Right. We want to get them into
Hmm.
our ecosystem as soon as possible because the website isn't going to close them. Them being in our ecosystem is going to close them.
Right.
So if their website is an absolute garbage, we we usually just worry about embedding the correct forms and making sure that they're visible within like 3 to 5 seconds of a person landing on the site.
Hmm.
And then if the website is just non-existent or it's absolute trash, we'll suggest a complete rebuild. And then, of course, we build it with more of a funnel style landing page and
Sure.
just focus really on conversion. Like conversion
Yeah.
is the most important thing. We can build out a more elaborate website later, but right
Right.
now, let's get you set up with a strong funnel. You offer a service, so let's focus on just selling the service. They're not really going to worry about your about us section. They aren't going to go
Hmm.
read your family history. They don't care about that stuff that much. That's just the
Right.
reality of the consumer. So let's give the consumer what they're looking for, maybe a quick video of you, some sort of offer the ability to give their information quickly, and then we've got them in the ecosystem, and now we're texting them and emailing them until they give us a hard yes or no. It's just that simple.
Right, right.
Hey, this is Rob Riggs, and I wanted to take just a second to tell you about Code Conspirators, our sponsor here. And we are a technology-focused performance marketing agency serving professional service firms. So that's legal, medical, financial, engineering. If you take a test to do what you do for a living, we help you grow your practice with websites and apps and software and performance marketing. That's organic, paid ads, retargeting, conversion optimization. And we're also doing a whole host of things with CRM, AI, and automation that's been bringing our clients tremendous value. If you're curious at all, go to codeconspirators.com to learn more. Now back to the show.
Do you have you found over the past 8 years that you gravitate toward a particular type of person? So beyond like what their area of service is, beyond their revenue mark, like what characteristics make somebody a great fit for you?
Somebody who genuinely wants to grow. See, because
Mhm.
we'll talk to a lot of business owners, and some of them are at, I like to call it the danger zone. Maybe they're doing 1 million or 2 million, right? And they're doing objectively well for themselves, right? You
Yeah.
can't tell somebody who's made $2 million they're not doing well for themselves, right? But
Hmm.
if you were to look at the business, some of these business owners, they know, okay, I made $2 million with disconnected systems, me not knowing what's going on in my business or anything like that. If I could just figure out what's disorganized and how to fix it, this could maybe be a $5 million business or a $10 million business. Those are the kinds of guys that I'm looking for, right?
Right.
Like, I don't want somebody who's brand new, a beginner, and we're trying to build them from scratch, because they might not know how to sell, they might not know how to conduct their business, anything like that, right? But
Right.
the person who has seen some degree of success and they want to grow larger because they know that they could, it's just beyond what their expertise allows them to do. Because these guys, they're experts at putting up roofs. They're experts at being electricians. They're experts at being plumbers. But sitting
Yep.
down at a computer, maybe making some custom code, creating a Zap and Zapier, getting a webhook, what's an API key, they don't know any of this stuff, you know?
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's where people like me and you are able to bridge a gap.
Right. So we look at it as where is somebody's highest and best use of their time, and then if they can make $200 an hour doing what they're doing, roofing, plumbing, whatever, and they're able to pay somebody whatever an hour to do the rest of it, where they may not be as skilled, or it may take them longer to accomplish something that may not even be as good. That's where we see kind of people like us coming in and helping service businesses like that.
Yeah.
So there's a tension between the set it and forget it automation, and then the reality that these things take ongoing maintenance. You need to be able to pivot and adjust as the marketing landscape shifts and changes. How do you position yourself to manage those expectations realistically with clients about what's really automated and then what needs attention on an ongoing basis?
So what we've been playing with and had success with has been leaning towards more of a fractional CMO model.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
so instead of us, oh, we're going to do these automations, or instead of having like a productized sort of result, what we focus on is coming in and we're going to say, hey, we're essentially going to be your marketing head going forward. Okay,
Mhm.
so all of that AI stuff that you're seeing, we're researching it. We're implementing the stuff that works and we're ignoring the stuff that doesn't. So if I haven't reached out to you about AI, don't worry about that one. It's probably some nonsense you don't need. We're
Yeah.
going to run your ads. We're going to manage this. We'll handle that. We basically just position ourselves where, yes, a lot of this stuff is automated, but think about how much money you stand to lose if these things go down.
Right. Yep.
You know, and in addition to that, now that things are up and running, we want to keep this CRM full of fresh opportunity. You don't have
Yep.
time to maybe hold a camera. You don't have time to optimize your Facebook ads. You don't have the time to rewrite new text sequences or things like that, right? So that's where me and my team are able to just come in and fill that gap. So it's like, if you're the type of business owner that's just looking to get this marketing stuff off of your plate, I don't want to worry about the
Hmm.
marketing. I want to have essentially an in-house marketing guy and an in-house tech guy. We're your people,
Yeah.
you know?
Right. Got the best of both worlds. So we've talked a bit about AI and its impacts, and anymore, like in Go High Level is no exception. Like so many platforms we're using these days have AI built in to help you accomplish more. Can you talk through kind of how you're leveraging AI on behalf of clients, whether it's AEO and showing up in AI overview, or whether it's helping them accomplish more through AI on the back end?
Yeah, so we're using AI in a couple different areas. One of the first things that we do when we bring a client on is we do a call just like what we're doing right now, where I interview
Okay.
them in graphic detail, not just about the business, but also like their family, their goals, their childhood, etc.
Yeah.
We take all of that information and we feed it to Chat GPT to create a custom writing GPT for their business.
Hmm.
Then we're able to use that to pump out the email campaigns, text campaigns, newsletters, etc. So that's one of our key ways we're using AI.
Sure.
Then we started playing with the AI answering services long before Go High Level actually embedded them themselves. So
Yeah.
we had a couple different outside services that we made use of, but we have inbound AI call agents that are working after hours, as
Hmm.
well as the chatbot sequences that are there to qualify clients and book them onto appointments if no one's available. So we're using it in a few different areas. We are getting ready to roll out that AEO service. Um,
Yeah.
where I've got it right now, where a couple of my clients are just on it. I haven't charged them for it or anything like that. I just wanted to implement the service, see if it works, and all that stuff. But once we've worked out the kinks of it and how we're going to deliver it, that'll be the next service we go ahead and add to the stack.
Sure. Nice. Okay. What do you see that accomplishing for your clients?
I just see it as another area of visibility. We
Okay.
we have to think that there's millions of people searching for you on Google. There's millions of people searching on ChatGPT. There's millions of people floating around on social media. And it doesn't, in the grand scheme of things, it does not take a lot of effort if you have the right systems and tools and people behind you to be in all of these places all at once.
Yeah.
So what we do is we kind of look at how can we structure an approach that's based on your area, your budget, your company size, and your service, and tailor a custom marketing plan based on that.
Okay. Now, when somebody is looking for growth and they're starting to talk to you, what are the biggest mistakes that you see people make?
The biggest mistakes that I see people make um, is they get shiny object syndrome.
Yeah, sure.
They think that,
Guilty.
yeah, they think they need everything under the sun, every new software, every this, every that. And I remember I told one of my clients, and I was messing with him, I was like, hey, listen, there's a lot of really good marketers out there. Some people are, they're handsome and they're great salespeople like me, and that's how they make you feel like maybe
Yeah.
you need this inside of your business. I'm like, you might not be missing out on anything. I remember I
Yeah.
told one guy, he was asking about some sort of AI chatbot, And I'm like, oh, we already have the capability to build you one. We're in the process of developing it, and it'll be ready to roll out within the week. But
Yeah.
he was just seeing stuff and just kind of like, oh, but we need to do this, we need to do that. No, we need to figure out where the gaps are currently in your business,
Mm-hmm.
fix those first, then
Yeah.
start figuring out based on your budget, based on your size, based on the volume that you can handle, right? Because we've had the situation where we opened the floodgates and they weren't able to keep up with the lead flow.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so there's that part too. So it's like we have to get all of your systems in order first before we open those floodgates. And the biggest mistake
Right.
we see people make is they're doing the shiny object thing, and then they're also trying to open the floodgates before they're actually ready to receive all of that.
Right. Yeah, you've got to start with the highest ROI, activities, right? And then, yeah. So, but yeah, cool. Well, I know we're coming up on time. What is there anything that you would have wanted to communicate, to the audience that I haven't asked you yet?
No, I would say that you were pretty thorough.
Okay.
We're a marketing automation agency. We do one-time custom projects. We also work on retainer. We work primarily with people in the trades, but we're also in a few other industries, health and wellness, media production, things like that. So 9 times out of 10, if you've got a business and you're not sure how to market it or how to set up your systems for it, we can help.
Yeah, awesome, man. Where can people reach out and find out more about your system and program?
So you can visit me at our website. It's www.getjobflowsystem.com.
Cool.
If you want to find me on Facebook, you can just search my name, Charles Craggett. I'll be sitting next to a tiger. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's charles.nwm.
Cool. Okay.
Yep.
Awesome. Man, Charles, I appreciate you being on again, and this has been, really, just good to see kind of somebody else, using Go High Level and helping their clients benefit from it. So I appreciate you in a big way.
I appreciate you having me on, Rob.
All right, that was Charles Craggett from Become the Authority. If you're running a service business and marketing automation thing feels overwhelming or like it never quite works the way it's supposed to, I encourage you to check him out. Charles has built something specifically for service-based businesses centered around the home, so roofing, plumbing, and things like that. And a couple of things stood out to me from this conversation. First, the emphasis on systems over tactics. So Charles is selling 18 different tools. He's selling you a system that works together. And then secondly, the sales background really matters. He understands that all the automation in the world doesn't matter if it's not driving actual revenue and client acquisition. So if you caught what we're talking about and centered around the technical foundation, the websites, that is what we do at Code Conspirators. We're web developers, we're software developers, we're marketers, we do a host of various things that impact marketing for client conversion and acquisition. But the links to both our sites and tools are in the show notes. So if you're interested in more info and exploring what is in it for you by engaging with somebody like us, definitely check out the links in the show notes. And if you're just wondering how you're doing, how you fare against your competitors, we've got a diagnostic tool that shows you exactly where you're strong and where you have opportunities. So check out diagnostic.codeconspirators as well. Diagnostic.codeconspirators.com. And get that free diagnostic and see, kind of what it would take to compete better. All right. Thanks so much for tuning in. We will see you next time.